Awesome. Let's see. Get this. No, it's fine. Alright, we'll just run with this light. Cool. So, let me get this over here. Awesome. Alrighty, so we're just gonna do a quick Sunday analysis. Nothing crazy. I had a pretty busy week last week. So, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's pull up this bad boy here. Let me double check something real quick. Yeah, I had a busy week. My sleep schedule, like I've been saying, is just completely messed up. So, was sleeping when I'm not sleeping, basically either working or just trying to stay awake. Built in. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I love how every time I stream, I feel like I have audio issues. Alright, we're good. Yeah, I just had to pop in to make sure that my audio is working. I tried downloading OBS today, but apparently it doesn't run on I run Mac, so I can't get it to run on my Mac because my Mac isn't the correct isn't the correct like software that doesn't have the updated version, and it's not going to update any further. So that's okay. I'll just keep using YouTube. Go with the ups and downs on YouTube. No worries. Let's see. I'm just trying to make sure that I can get in from here on my NinjaTrader. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright. Alright, I'll deal with that later. We're just going to go on to TradingView. Having some difficulty with my data subscription for NinjaTrader. So, no biggie. We will just hop on to TradingView because I like TradingView more anyway, right? So let's pull this bad boy up. Let me get it situated. Share screen. Cool. Here. Share. Awesome. So we got this bad pulled up here. Looking at NQ. Obviously, that's what I trade mostly. Day trade NQ. Right now we are on the 1 minute time frame. So I actually want to zoom out. We're going to go to the daily time frame real quick. And we're going to also delete some of these. So we're going to get rid of this. We'll get rid of this box. Oh, actually, can I undo that? No, I can't undo that. That's fine. I'll just draw a new one. But yeah, so as you can see, we had that nice break earlier. I think this was 2 weeks ago, just about. Had this nice break, pulled down. Pretty substantial move on the daily time frame. It was a trend line break and also a turtle zone break for a sell. So it would have been a nice trade had I still been in my trading challenge or my funded account, but I wasn't. Another drawdown to the funded account that I'm using. I'm not going to say any names or anything, but for some reason they don't well, I guess not for some reason. I mean, probably have their reasons, but you're not allowed to go ahead and hold trades for multiple days. So I have to go ahead and I have to close a trade that day, the day of. So a position, which does kind of stink because obviously I could have caught. You could catch this really nice move if you were able to hold. But I do want to start working on building my private capital and trading private capital as well. So obviously, with that, I mean, you're gonna have to create your own rules and regulations to protect yourself. But yeah, I could have cut that move had I been trading with private capital. So it still looks like we're moving in an upwards trend, even though we did break this previous uptrend to the downside for a nice sell. It still looks like we're moving upwards, but I will go ahead and indicate. I think we're gonna here. We're gonna indicate a bit of a downtrend. Good, like that. Just to go ahead and obviously keep it visual, and we can go ahead and see that maybe we are moving down a little bit, and we're holding under this downtrend. So I like to call this a bit of a beak, and you can kind of go ahead and tell when I do this. And I'm pretty sure that I've said this in another stream, but it almost looks like a bit of a bird beak, right? So we're holding in between here, and then we're gonna see which way it breaks. If it breaks up or if it breaks down, and then we'll go ahead and we'll just trade in that direction, right? But yeah, so it's just a good kind of indication to tell. I mean, obviously you can see we've been in a pretty long lasting uptrend, so we're most likely gonna keep the uptrend going, and we're just going to keep that bias. So if we can break up here, then we'll be looking for those buys. If we could break that downward trend line, and obviously if we could break these highs over here, I'll draw a quick horizontal line. If we could break these highs over here, especially like these wicks, then definitely looking for it to keep on going higher. But these are also good zones to go ahead and pay attention to, right? Because as you can see, we have two wicks in this area, and they both pushed lower afterwards. So there's a possibility of it continuing lower if it were to come into these zones, right? So it's just an area of influence, a good area to keep an eye on. But you could possibly break this trend line, break these highs, and then do something like that. Use it like a bit of support or something. So yeah, so just key levels to keep an eye on. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna draw my turtle trading strategy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. Good. Alrighty. So turtle trading strategy is just the previous 20 candles, and then when you break either the high or low of that candle, that or of that zone. So let's say we came over here, and tomorrow we broke this high right here, right? Then you'd go ahead and you would go away. You would go ahead and you'd enter a buy position. Easy peasy, just like that. And then, no, I have the wrong indicators on right now, but no worries. But that's basically what it is. So I'm just creating a zone, and it's the same kind of trade. It's a breakout zone. So if it breaks this zone that I've indicated, then we'll get into a buy or we'll get into a sell if it goes on the lower end, right? Yeah, let's go into the 15-minute on NASDAQ and see what's going on. The market should be live, but like I said, my data is having a bit of an issue with my data subscription. So right now we're looking at data that is, I believe it's 10 minutes off. Data is delayed, and Q1 data is delayed by 10 minutes because of exchange requirements, blah, blah. So for whatever reason, my subscription isn't working. So I'm going to try and get that figured out, hopefully after this stream, so that I can go ahead and participate in the markets tomorrow morning. And I'm hoping to do a live tomorrow morning as well. But I just want to keep this one quick. So as you can see, let's see, today's the 5th. So yeah, so there's not much price action, obviously. because we just opened up at 6 a.m. just about. Yeah. Nope, don't want you. Pay for that later. Um, so yeah, so not much price action right now. I mean, obviously, it is Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. So there's not many traders, and the volatility really isn't going to be there because most traders are waiting for Monday. But I just wanted to see, you know, what's kind of going on right now. So it looks like we're kind of pulling down just a little bit. But you can see that last week we finished off strong. This is very interesting right here. Major pull up and then pull back down. Uh, so we could kind of create a bit of a zone of influence here. I want to keep this area in mind because you can see we've got a decent amount of bounces off of this level. So this is a good level to keep in mind. You can also see how we had some resistance and then a pop up, big pop up after we broke this level of resistance. So, just a couple things to look at and keep in mind when trading tomorrow. Let me go ahead and drag this out a little bit. All right, but yeah, we're looking good. We'll hop into the 1 minute. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's just gonna look the same as the 15 minute because it's the same price action. But just kind of chopping around. You can see we're going lower, moving lower under this anchor VWAP. So yeah, so we'll see what happens in the morning, especially after the night trading session goes forward. Then we can be able to tell, maybe get a bit more of a bias. But as of right now, on the daily, on NQ, like we were, definitely looking at more of a bullish bias and looking for it to go higher. Alrighty, what is that? Cool. All right, so we can see here, same kind of trade, basically broke the trend line on a sell. These were the last 2 weeks that had happened, and then same with the turtle trading strategy. You could see here it just breaks this low. You get in on a sell, and then it moves lower. But we're looking at the daily time frame now. We're on ES, so S&P 500. Just to go ahead and uh, clarify that. Now we're gonna make our turtle zones, and then we're gonna fix our trend line. I also want to fix this downtrend line. Oh, this is just completely invalid. Yep, downtrend line completely invalid. That is a nice break though. I don't know if you saw, but the downtrend line was like this, just about going through there. So you can see here in a couple of weeks. That's like 3, 4, almost a month, right? So or way more than a month. So here we got December into March, April-ish, March. So you're looking at 4 months, 5 months, and that's a jump of around 400, 700 points after doing the math. Just about 700-point move. Why does that feel wrong? No, that's right. 700 points. Yeah. Okay. That's crazy. But yeah, anyway, so we're going to be focused there, and then we'll also draw our downtrend, right? So we're looking at the high, the peak of price, then we have a little touch point here, and then we're kind of touching here. So we'll see. It's kind of already broken, but I'm not going to be too stingy about it. Tomorrow, we'll see what happens when we wake up and we hop in. And there could possibly be a trade here if we break, or if we break this high area. Let me go back into the day. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I mean, there could definitely be a potential buy trade here tomorrow morning. Once I clean up this zone and I clean up the trend line zone, or the trend line as well. But you can see that we've got a decent. Oh, these aren't even. no worries, no worries. But once I clean those up and we look closer into it, there could be a potential buy here, shoot up, hold it, for a couple minutes, 30 minutes maybe. And just got to see kind of what happens tomorrow morning when trading actually opens, when everybody starts to get in. And yeah, I mean, we'll definitely get a better analysis in the morning right before the market's getting ready to open, stock market's getting ready to open. So yeah. But I mean, basically, if we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna look at these long terms, especially like for the week, last week, you can kind of see we've just been consolidating. But again, if we zoom out, we are seeing an uptrend. We're continuing to move up, even though we're making some lows, we're making some valleys, especially on NQ, same thing. We're making some lows, we're making some valleys, but we're continuing to move up. So last week, kind of chop it up. It was getting choppy, but that doesn't mean that we're not ready for whatever's to come this week or tomorrow morning. We could see here too that ES looks very similar to NQ. So we'll go ahead and we will mark up. I want to mark up like right around here. It's kind of where we can see the bounces. And we can just, like I said, make note of this level for when we hop in. When we see it get close to this level, possibly get ready for it to make a bit of a jump, to make a bit of a bounce off of that level of resistance to the downside and continue upward. Do something like this. Boom. I mean, obviously super dramatic, but something like that, right? And again, possibly because it is getting close to this trend line, this uptrend line. So I mean, there's a possibility we could break and then just use this as like a support level and continue going lower. So again, you just got to be wary, be aware of what's going on and just use those as areas of influences and kind of feel the market out while it's moving. Don't be hasty, don't jump the gun. Also don't hesitate, but be ready and just have these areas of influence kind of marked up like this visually. Because like this, like let's say it gets into, the what is it, Monday the 13th, so that would be like next week. So let's say that gets into next week, right? And I'm on the 1 minute, right? And I don't have this level drawn. And then I'm watching price action, right? I'm watching it move. Oh. Here it goes. Here. Oh, look, it's getting close. Oh, it's like tapping my trend line. Okay, breaks my trend line. Okay, down, blah, 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 right? And then let's say it comes here, okay? But I don't have this level drawn out. I don't have this rectangle drawn out. Then I have no idea what is here. I don't know to be wary of this area. I don't know to be aware that something could happen, right? I don't know to be aware that we could possibly go ahead and actually bounce up off of it, or that we could go lower, break it, and then maybe use it as a support level. So it's just good to have these levels kind of drawn out so that you could use them to your advantage and know if something is going to happen here. Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't know if something's going to happen here, but obviously if you don't have it drawn out, if you don't have your trend lines, or you don't have whatever it is that you're using drawn out, then you don't know to be aware of those levels, right? If I don't have my indicators set up correctly, let's look at this one. If I don't have my indicators set up correctly, then I have no idea, to look and see if to look and see and use these levels as actual levels, whether it be support and resistance, whether it be prices that could be influential. It just makes it much easier when it's visual like this, because I can look at it real quick and I can be like, oh, there's my trend line, instead of having to go ahead and do a whole reanalysis and then draw the trend line again or try and figure out where the trend actually is. I just have it drawn out, and it makes it much easier. So that's definitely something to keep in mind, and I would recommend definitely, use visuals, You don't want your chart to be too clouded. I mean, that's why I turn these off sometimes depending on whatever I'm using. I won't have too much historical like artwork or like any of the drawings that I might have done or doodles I might have done for previous trades. I don't really have those. If I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to save that information, I'll take a screenshot or I'll take a picture and then I'll save it in a folder that I have. But I don't want to keep it there on the chart. I want the chart to be as clean as possible, right? When you go ahead and you have too many drawings, especially on TradingView, this area over here will get cluttered, your chart is going to get cluttered, your price action is going to get cluttered, and then you're going to have to start, going ahead and making it more of a puzzle because now I'm trying to figure out where actually is my price. What are the price values or what are the visuals that I'm trying to use to get into these trades? And you don't want to make this any more complicated than it already is, right? So just as little as you can possibly have on the chart, the better I would say. And you really want to get a feel for the market too, like especially when you're trading a lot of this technical stuff, and even when you watch the fundamental stuff, right? I mean, I have a news feed here on my other screen, so you'll go ahead and you'll get a hang of like, okay, we have a bank holiday tomorrow, right? So maybe I don't trade. Oh, we have FOMC going on, so maybe it's going to be a bit volatile, especially when that news is coming out. So when you go ahead and you sit here and you put that time in on the charts and you watch the candles print, right? This is money and transact. These are people's decisions that are occurring. I feel like I'm giving like free advertising every time one of these things pops up in the corner. Freaking annoying. Anyway, it's basically you'll get the hang of it. It's like playing a video game. You're gonna see the patterns with the news. You're gonna see the patterns with the visuals. You're gonna see the patterns in the price and the movement. These is millions of people making all of these different decisions and transactions at the same time, right? And you're watching it. So I think that's something important to go ahead and understand is that there are a bunch more people just like you that are sitting here watching price and making decisions and selling and buying. And obviously, you have the big fish and you have all of these companies that are making decisions, right? And then you have people like us making decisions based on price, making decisions based on these companies' decisions. So it's a bunch of people making decisions about money and about finance and about what they're going to do with their companies and, the taxes in the US and the taxes in other countries and the international politics of this country against America or blah 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 blah, right? A bunch of noise. And then you're here sitting here watching these lines and creating lines and visuals or using indicators to make it all easier for you to understand. That's the whole point. You want to make it as simple as possible and as easy for you to go ahead and make a decision, make a trade, um, and not and that's exactly why we have strategies, right? It's the same thing. It's making it easier for you and getting rid of the whole uh, what's the word, indecisiveness process of getting into actual trades and going ahead and executing, right? Because when you go ahead and you overthink and you take all this noise, I'm not saying that that stuff isn't important because you should pay attention to it and you should understand how it affects the market so that you can make educated decisions based on that. But all of this other stuff, right? The technicals, understanding the fundamentals, um, having a technical strategy, having a fundamental strategy, understanding sentiment, understanding market psychology, this and that, all of that, the whole point of it is to go ahead and to make trading simpler. The whole point is to make you less indecisive, right? Because if you already have all of this understanding and you already have it all planned out, then you know what you're going to do and you know how you're going to execute no matter the circumstance, no matter the situation, right? So when you go ahead and do that, then you can go ahead and you can actually trade. You can execute trades, which means you're actually trading and you're going ahead and you're operating from a point of view of actually having a plan, right? And you have a trading plan. So if you execute that, then I mean, hopefully the trading plan is profitable. So you'll go ahead and you'll profit, right? And if not, you're at least going ahead and you're learning and you're being disciplined, you're being consistent, which is the most important thing here. That's literally all it is. What I'm telling you is that having these visuals, like people say, like, oh, you have stuff drawn on your chart. That doesn't help you. Oh, you use too many indicators. I don't use that many indicators. There are people that use too many indicators. And that's what I'm saying is you want to make sure that you're not like clouding because you can have too much on the chart for sure. I'll show you an example of that later, but you know, the stuff that is actually going to be useful to you, the visuals, if you need to go ahead and you need to create drawings, just like these trend lines, just like these zones, right? These things, go ahead and make it easier and simpler and quicker. That's most important. Is the quicker that you can make a decision based on whatever your strategy is, whatever your trading plan is, the quicker you can make a decision, the quicker that you can execute in or out of a trade, that can save your ass. Whether you're going to make that money or whether you're going to lose money, right? You can save yourself from losing money because you executed on exiting a trade or you executed on not entering a trade, right? Because of some visual or because of something in your trading plan, because of some fundamental news article or some current news event that had just occurred. Oh, some bombing or shooting or GDP news just came out, something like that, right? And you said, oh, I'm not going to execute on this trade. Now you went ahead and you might have saved money because you could have lost it if you went ahead and took that trade and the market went in not in your favor and it went in the other direction than what your trading plan had said, right? So just having an understanding of all these things and using these visuals, using these indicators, using what you can to go ahead and make these decisions quicker is what's going to be best for you, no doubt. Obviously, you have to understand how the candles move. You have to understand a little bit of what's going on in the market. You need to understand price action. You need to understand, how the trading platform works, et cetera, et cetera. But beyond that, like making trading simpler for yourself, using these things. Once you have all of that knowledge, then you can go ahead and you create your trading plan, you create your strategies. Now you can go ahead and you can make it simpler for yourself, right? I guarantee you, when I started trading, my chart did not look like this. I probably had, like this, and then I was going ahead and I was marking zones like this, and then we might have had, maybe we took a couple trades over here, then we took a trade like over here, right? And then I wanted to go ahead and do this zone, and there's a trend line here, right? So like, there's not there's a lot going on the screen, and this still isn't like a crazy amount of stuff. I can't even do that, but you get what I'm saying. Is that there's a lot going on. You don't want your trading platform or your screen, your dashboard to look that messy. It's the same thing with all of the noise, right? Because you're gonna have people telling you that they think this is gonna happen in the market. People telling you they think this is what's gonna happen with that company. Oh, this is the news that's going on. Oh, this is the forecast. Oh, this is the trend that I think is going to happen. Oh, this price point in Nasdaq, or this price point in gold or crude oil, or whatever it is you're trading. This price point for USD JPY is a flip, and so everyone's going to dump. There's a pump and dump, right? Oh, the whales are all this noise, Same thing. So you want to go ahead and you want to stay focused on your trading plan. You want to listen to what's going on, and you want to be informed and understand what actually affects the market and what you need to go ahead and take your trades, right? Because you might not even focus on news. Maybe you just want to be a completely technical analysis trader. You just want to be a market sentiment trader. So you might not even focus on news. You don't need to focus on that noise. Other way around, you could just focus on news, and you don't want to. I mean, you need to know a little bit of the technicals so you can actually execute trades. But you don't want to focus too much on technicals. You don't want to focus too much on actually having visuals and drawing lines and stuff, right? But it's to each their own. You just need to go ahead and you need to make trading as simple as you can for yourself so that you can make these decisions and you can execute these trades as flawlessly and as seamlessly as possible. Because if you come in here and be, you know, locked in, not literal noise, but not have all of the noise from the news, from your buddy, from uninformed people, from the internet, from social media, whatever it may be, right? Also, not have so many indicators, not have your screen clouded, have too much you know visuals going on, so you can't really understand what you want to look at or what you're actually using, right? And you can come in here and then just go ahead and basically, I'm not saying be a robot, but basically come in here and just be like calm, right? You want to be as calm as possible. You want to be as emotionless as possible so that you can come in and you can just execute and you can just trade and not have to worry about all these other things, right? You don't want the markets and you don't want your trading. My bad. So you don't want your trading to be just a messy. You don't want it to be messy. You want everything to kind of be organized. You want it to flow, um, so that you can go ahead and you can execute the way that you need to. Uh, how you'd want any of your work to be, right? You want it to be organized. You want to understand it. You want it to be simple. You want it to be seamless. You want to be quick on your feet. You want to make the decisions. You want to do your job, and you want to get out. That's basically how it works. This is the same way, right? So you need to operate um, from a point of view that allows for your trading plan to be simple, easy to use for you, effective for yourself, and profitable. And if you can go ahead and figure that out and create that plan, create that strategy, and utilize that, then you're set. And that's all you got to do. And like I said, like the biggest thing is going to be going ahead and just getting your time in the markets, looking at the candles, looking at the chart, understanding all of the noise, understanding what's going on, understanding what people are saying, what's fake, what's a scam, uh, and knowing what you're going to go ahead and use. And oh, I don't want to use this indicator because of such and such, or I like this indicator. This one works better for me. So it's to each their own. Each trader is going to be different. You're going to find your niche. You're going to find what time frame you like. You're going to find what news you stay out of because you don't understand. You're going to find that mentor that you resonate with because he goes ahead and he preaches um, where to put his stop loss, or he preaches consistency. So like all these different things are what are going to make you a good trader. And that's it. It's literally just going to be the persistence, the consistency of it, and sticking to it, being disciplined. If you come at it every day and you keep pushing towards it, I mean, realistically, I've been doing this for a decent amount of time, right? And honestly, I don't have as many years as most of these people that are online, um, and I know that I'm going to be trading for a long time. Uh, does that mean that I'm not going to be profitable for a long time? Most likely not. I think I'm very close. I can feel it. And I just need to push a little harder, and I have to plan around real life, obviously, because real life, there's a lot of monetary stuff, and I'm working right now, and I'm struggling to get a handle on that and figure out, when my time is going to be, what money I'm going to allocate to where, because I have a few things going on, but beyond that, I'm going to be trading for a while. And I know it might take some time. I mean, it's already taken some time for me to go ahead and get past the education process. And I mean, I'm still learning. I continuously learn on a daily basis. I follow all these traders online, so I watch their content. I watch courses constantly. I'm watching YouTube videos, so I'm always educating. But like I'm telling you, is that you want to understand, at least for yourself, what is noise, right? Because I can't go ahead and take every single trader's advice, okay? Because I can take some of their advice, right? I can take their advice with a grain of salt. But a lot of these traders that are online, especially like influencers and stuff, they're going to be butting heads and they're going to be disagreeing on certain things. They're going to be going ahead and this guy says one thing about market sentiment, and oh, you should use this indicator. This guy says another thing about market sentiment. Oh, this lady says that you should go ahead and put your stop loss here for this and this reason. Oh, this guy says, but I mean, it makes sense because they're all trading different strategies. They're all going to be pushing their uh, personal brand. They're all going to be pushing their strategy. They're all going to be pushing their course, their education, their process, right? The way that they became a trader, which makes sense. It's understandable. But like I'm telling you, is like you want to make sure that you're taking a lot of this stuff with a grain of salt and you want to figure out what's good for you, right? You can't be bouncing around from this strategy to this guy, right? Now, again, you could take advice with a grain of salt and you could implement certain things here and there to go ahead and put it into your strategy, to put it into your trading plan. That's completely fine. But when you're bouncing around and you're moving from here to here to here, changing things up too much, or you're not going ahead and you're not giving this one strategy, you're not giving this one mentor a shot, you're not giving this one market a shot, right? You need to figure out if it's actually for you. You got to understand that you're in the education process. So yes, it's going to be hard. You need to get a better understanding of these sectors, of these indicators, of these strategies, of whatever it is that they're trying to teach you, so that you can actually implement it. And then once you've implemented it for a while, then you could say, "Oh, this isn't for me," right? Or you've tested it out. But when you're going ahead and you're bouncing around, or you're taking everyone's advice, and you're trying to do, "Oh, I'm going to trade forex. Oh, I'm going to trade futures. Oh, I'm going to trade crypto. Oh, I'm going to trade this, oh, I'm gonna trade that," right? Then you're basically part of the noise. Like you're just bouncing from wall to wall at whatever anyone says, right? If I'm focused on every single news article that comes out from all of these different news feeds, then I'd basically be reading the entire time on what's going on in the world, and I wouldn't be trading as much. And I'd just be reading it, and I'd be like, "Oh, well, this guy says that something's going on with crude oil because such and such bombed. Oh, but this oil company went ahead and sold, 100 million yesterday, so I think we're going to be all right. Oh, GDP for this country, which is the major producer of oil, just went down, blah, blah, blah," right? So, like, I'm going ahead and I'm getting all of this noise, I'm getting all of this bias from these people that are talking. I'm not saying that they're not educated. Definitely find educated people, educated mentors to go ahead and teach you these things. And you need to know a decent amount. You need to have a decent understanding of what's going on in the world, or at least the mentor that you have needs to have a decent understanding of the strategy, and you need to understand the strategy and the different parts of how the markets work, so that you can be educated, so that you can understand, because you need to have a certain level of knowledge when coming into the markets. But I'm saying when you go here and you take everything, or you're trying to look for all of it, you're trying to be educated on everything, then you're going ahead and you're almost hurting yourself, you're hindering your growth, because you're going ahead and you're taking so much time to just absorb what everyone else's opinion and everyone else's thinking and everyone else's bias, right? And you're not executing trades, you're not trading, you're not creating your own trading plan, you're not following a trading plan, you're not doing a strategy, right? So that's all I'm saying, is you want to make it as neat and as less messy, as less noisy, as less foggy as possible. So you can come to the desk, or you can go on your phone and you can execute a trade. Boom, I got my strategy. Boom, take a trade. Boom, this is what I'm going to do. Boom, so you're on top of it. Um, I just think that that's the best way to do it. You know, uh, especially for myself. I mean, it took me a while to learn that, and I'll say I was bouncing around for a while trying to figure some stuff out. And again, like even now, while I'm kind of creating strategies and I'm trying to figure out, what kind of strategy I like. But I've traded a few strategies. I've gotten stuck in the news article uh, list, but like I'm saying, like you are the person that is on the trading journey, right? Now, it's great to get knowledge and to get experience and to learn like these key components from these other traders. So I'm not saying, don't educate yourself. I'm not saying don't listen to these other people. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that if you are going to listen to somebody, make sure that you like pick your few people. You take those people and you take what they say with a grain of salt, right? And then you go ahead and you have to. You're going to experience it for yourself. Nobody just listens to a teacher. Okay, I mean, maybe there is a possibility that there are some traders that are just, I highly doubt it though, but you're going to experience loss. You're going to experience, you know, people saying one thing or creating a bias in your head, and then you go ahead and you take a trade based on that bias and you lose, or you go ahead and you start a new strategy that you think is profitable and you don't hold on to it for long enough. So then you hop to another strategy, but then you come back to this strategy because you liked it previously and it was simple, and then it starts to make you money, right? Or now you understand this strategy more because the strategy that you went ahead and traded when you swapped, it just gave you more market experience. So now you understand the market better. So when you come back to the strategy that you first tried, you understand it better and it just works better for you, right? There's so many intricacies, and it's really going to come down to how you tackle the market and how you come in, what your mindset's going to be. And I mean, that's really it. Like, there's no one that can go ahead and write a path for you and say you're going to do great, you're going to be profitable. Um, you will if you go ahead and you're consistent and you're persistent at perfecting your trading plan, your trading strategy, whatever it is, even if it's somebody else's that you're utilizing. But you need to come at the market again and make it simple, easy, and seamless for yourself. If you can do those things right and make trade, it's always going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. The market's difficult, right? But if you can come in and your mindset is consistent and you're straightforward and you have your trading plan and you follow your trading plan and your trading plan is profitable, your strategy is profitable, then you're going to make money. And that's how it is. It's going to take time to get there. Obviously, it will, because you got to go through the education, you got to go through the ups and downs, you got to go through your 10,000 hours. It takes time. No one just hops in and starts making money. No. But is I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, trading is great. Yeah, it takes time, and you got to go ahead and you have to perfect the craft. It's just like anything else. Uh, yeah, I mean, honestly, that's all I got for today. I just wanted to come in and do that quick uh, previous week analysis and kind of tell you guys like what I'm looking for next week. Just trading NQES, same thing. Nothing too crazy. I should be set up for not the week coming now, so like not next Monday, but the following week. I should be good to get on and take my next prop firm challenge. So I'm a bit excited for that. I've got it planned out. I got my strategies planned out. This will be the last week of demo trading for a while. So I'm going to get on my trading challenge the following week, and then we'll definitely be able to do some more streaming. I'm trying to go ahead and figure out my work schedule, see if I can get it swapped around so I work weekends, and that'll go ahead and set me up pretty nicely to go ahead and be more focused on actually creating this content, like streaming on during trading hours, because I want to be able to do streams while I'm actually trading. So like do everyday streams Monday through Friday, right? So yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking at now. The following week. So I mean, this week it'll be a little dicey. I'm definitely going to be able to trade tomorrow and Tuesday. So I'll see. I'm going to make it. Yeah, I should be able to trade Monday, Tuesday. So I'm going to try to go ahead and stream those. So we're going to do live stream if I can go ahead and get this data subscription figured out. Then we should be good. and I'll do a live stream while I'm live trading. And like that, we can go ahead and get that up here, which I think will be very helpful, very useful to show you guys kind of how I operate, how I work. Is the strategy perfect? No. Do I make money every time? No. Do I take losses? Yes. But my mentality, I like to think that I've worked on that well, and that I handle those losses and that I handle wins pretty well. Um, and yeah, I mean, I use a bit of intuition. I think like if you watch it live, you guys will see it's pretty. It's a lot. It's a lot, and especially when you're new and getting into it, it can be a bit overwhelming. It can be very confusing because it's just a bunch of lines moving. I'm gonna go ahead too, and I'll make my candles green and red because hopefully that'll make it easier for you guys to understand what we're looking at. But I mean, yeah, that's basically it. I can't really say too much more about. All right, so that's on Ninja Trader, yeah. So I can't really say too much more about what I'm looking to do. I am gonna get back onto like posting more on social media. I was just posting like quotes and stuff, but I want to figure out how I can go ahead and take these videos that I make and like do like the clips and stuff. So if anybody does know how to do that, that would be awesome. If you could comment or reach out to me like via DM, um, so that I can like figure out how to go ahead and create little clips from these and then post those. But yeah, I mean that's about it. Besides like figuring out work, and then obviously like I've got a couple other things going on. Um, it's really just trading. Like, that's all I think about. Um, yeah, so all I think about is trading, and just ready for tomorrow. See what we can make happen for the week, and excited for what I've got planned. And you know, now I feel now I feel like I'm basically at this point where I've always kind of felt, like a bit angsty, like, oh, like I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing, right? But like now, especially now, I started to feel like this spring. So like I'm kind of like there's being tension built up, right? So like I'm coming up and then we're gonna pop. Um, I don't know why. Like I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like the plan, like I actually have a plan, and like it's doable. Like there's steps to the plan. It's not necessarily written out. Like I have it in my head. I think about it constantly, constant. Like you could ask me what I'm thinking about, and realistically, this would be probably the number one thing. Like any time of the day, you ask me what I'm thinking about, I will tell you my plan, step by step, what the plan consists of and what needs to happen so I can do this and this and this, right? And we're making it happen. But it's just like we're it's the spring, and I'm just waiting for a few things to kind of come into fruition, like these paychecks, um, and then we just go ahead and then boom, 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 domino, and then I don't know why, but I can feel it. Even with my trading, with a couple other things that I'm working on, I can feel it. And yeah, I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting. But yeah, so I'll leave it there. I mean, that's kind of what's going on. That's the plan for this week. That's the plan for next week. For trading, I am gonna, like I said, I am gonna be more consistent with the streams. Once we go ahead, we get past next week. If I can figure out my work schedule as well, hopefully I can figure that out. And then, like I said, I'll be able to do more streams for longer periods of time as well. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna get more consistent again on the social media stuff once I figure out how to download these and make those little clips. And I'm gonna get more consistent on the social media stuff just in general. Um, but yeah, that's about it. Also building that trading course, which is going semi well. It's a little more difficult than I thought, but we're working on it, and it will be done. I hope by the end of this year I can have a finished product. That is my goal. Is by the end of this year. Obviously, the goal was way before that, but we've run into a few obstacles and we've kind of backtracked a little bit in a positive way. It was a positive backtrack, but it's okay. So yeah, once I can get it translated into this new application, and then again start building it, then we'll be good. And I want to have a finished product by the end of this year at the latest, decently finished product. So yeah, it'll be pretty cool. And I mean, honestly, that's about it. I've been rambling for a little bit. But yeah, I think that's about it. And I'll leave you guys to it. Hope this video helped. And you guys have a good day.